PSAI has created a roadmap for its members. We heard a couple of PSAI for PSAI speakers who took to the global stage for the first time, but that's not it. There is more to it. We introduced more to it 2 years ago. How? We said people who've taken the stage once are ready to take the stage one more time. And we called it the PSAI Global Speaker. So now you're not a newbie as a global speaker. You have established your credibility. And the next speaker is going to be our PSAI Global Speaker, PSS 2026. Isn't that exciting? Isn't that aspirational? Yes, so it's time to introduce our PSAI Global Speaker, PSS 2026. And this gentleman, he's an emotional intelligence coach, author of The Alchemy of Anger. He helps leaders create synergy between performance, people, and purpose. There are 3 P's here. He blends lived experiences, behavioral psychology, and practical tools to create learning that is grounded and immediately applicable. So, ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Dr. Saurabh Patil. You make us proud, Saurabh.
Thank you. Thank you, Anupriya. Thank you, Anthony. Kalai Vanakkam, Chennai. Good morning. Is there something I can ask you today? Yeah? All right. Have you ever been on the stage and felt the room actually move away from you? Yeah? Absolutely. Many of us have experienced that. We all have been there. Not the dramatic one. No phones. No exits. Just a big distance. And that is why today I'm here to tell you something. We all know that this room is full of amazing speakers. Am I right? Yes. But this experience is not about competence. No, it's not. This experience is more about presence under pressure. How about we do something together? Yeah? Okay. How about I tell you a story, but I don't want you to just listen to it. In fact, I want you to be a part of that story. Can we do that? Yes? Yes? All right, let's go ahead. Imagine you're standing on this global stage. Your feet are firmly on the ground. The lights are warm. You can see some faces, but not clearly. You have done this before n number of times. And you know this is going to work. Now, the opening lands just like you had practiced and expected. You feel great about it. And then, suddenly, something changes. The room goes quiet. Not the quiet that feels respectful, because as speakers, we all love that, don't we? But this quiet was more like awkward. Nobody wants it. And in this awkward moment, do you know what happens? Your body starts responding faster than your brain. Your body senses the quiet. Your body reacts to the quiet. Your mind starts saying, chattering in your inside. Say something smart, quickly, come on, say something. Your mouth says, let me explain that better. You almost lean forward as if asking permission from the audience. Can I say something? Can I say something intelligent which you would like? But here's a fun fact. When such change happens, most speakers don't realize they are not responding to the audience. They are not at all responding to the audience. They are actually responding to their own nervous system. Yes. Let me tell you a story about myself. Let me tell you something that I did not know back then. Back in 2022, it was my first paid keynote by a bank in India. I was excited. The topic, physical and mental health of men and how it impacts productivity. That was a big one for me. I had planned, rehearsed, practiced. And then they gave me the first slot after lunch. Now you know exactly where this is going. Everybody finished their delicious lunch, moved inside. People were relaxed. Someone was comfortable. And here's my confession. Even I had a heavy lunch. Can I ask you something? Do you know what is a recipe for disaster for a speaker? Exactly, having a heavy lunch. And that is what I did because it was my first paid keynote. But still, I was pretty confident because I had practiced. I came on the stage, full of confidence, started my presentation. The opening again landed the way I had expected. I felt good about it. And then I saw the shift. I noticed something. Oh, this is the villain side. I'm going that side. That's a hero side, right, Rudy? I saw the shift happening. What I noticed in the audience was a couple of phones started coming out. Someone actually yawned. A gentleman at the back thought the shoulder of the person next to him would make an amazing pillow. And that's how I saw the distance growing between me and the audience. But something happened inside me. Something felt inside my body. My body started panicking. Not the dramatic panic, oh God, what's happening? Why are these guys not connected? Why are they not listening to me? Not the dramatic panic. The quiet panic. My mind again started chattering inside. They're bored, say something nice or say something intelligent. So instead of slowing down, changing my strategy, I started rushing through the slides. I did exactly opposite. I literally started reading through the slides, and when I started speaking more, I connected less. That day, I realized something. When something like this shifts, my experience did not disappear. My knowledge did not disappear. What disappeared was my emotional regulation. Because I was, again, not responding to the audience. I was actually reacting to my own nervous system. Here's the truth. When your brain senses a social disconnection, it actually registers it the same way it registers a physical threat. Yes, your brain registers the social disconnection in the same way it registers the physical threat. Not metaphorically, neurologically. But wait, what does that even mean? Well, that means the moment you feel distant from the audience, your body, your brain goes into survival mode. Complete survival mode. And let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, survival is never charismatic. Because if you seek charisma, you require the feeling of safety. Here's what most speakers, people don't realize. In such shifts, in such moments, when you disconnect, your skills actually don't disappear. And it is not your memory that fails to serve you. It's the panic that breaks your emotional regulation. This is exactly where your synergy on stage comes into picture. This is where synergy is important for speakers. But what is synergy? What do you mean by synergy? Synergy is not just about performance. It's about alignment of three things. What are those? One, your inner state, the inner state of a speaker. Two, the space around you, the energy in the room. And three, the message you choose to deliver to your audience at that moment. Because if all the three align, the room doesn't get louder, it gets deeper. But if they misalign, or if either one doesn't align, the impact leaks. Okay, how many of you are Marvel fans? Raise your hand. Marvel series. Okay, do you guys know one superhero in the Marvel series who is a wizard? Somebody said it. Yes, Dr. Strange. Dr. Strange. Yes. My favorite one too. Do you know the first part of the movie Dr. Strange? Where his hand shakes after the accident and he's not able to perform anything. Let me tell you something. Dr. Strange doesn't force the portal open. No. He doesn't even shout at reality. And it does not definitely push the energy outwards. What he does is first steadies his hand. And then he senses the room around. And that's how the portal opens. Because if his hand shakes, the portal collapses. If he ignores the space around, nothing opens. That's synergy for you. As a speaker, your inner state is actually your steady hand. The energy of the room, like we have it today morning, is the space you're working with. And your message is the portal you open for your audience. But here's something more important that should not be missed. Dr. Strange doesn't pull his energy from the universe or even Dormammu like the Ancient One does. Dr. Strange aligns himself and the universe responds. Exactly the same way great speakers do. They don't pull the energy from the audience. They actually regulate and the room responds. Now, into all this, how do we solve this problem of emotional regulation? What do we exactly do? That is why I created a simple framework called as SPR. Here, the S stands for stop. Stop rejecting, stop reacting to silence like it's a rejection. It's an opportunity. It could be. Pause long enough so that your body settles instead of reacting, panicking. That's all right. Let it settle. And then restart with intention, not insecurity. And here's a truth attached to it, which is not spoken much on speaking stages or any global stages. Audiences mirror the speaker's nervous system within the first 30 to 90 seconds. Yeah? Audiences mirror the speaker's nervous system within the first 30 to 90 seconds. And that is why they always say that you need to hook your audience within the first 2 to 3 minutes. Because if you're in a hurry on the stage, the audience will feel restless. But if you're grounded, they feel safe. And that is how SPR builds your synergy on stage. Not loud, but aligned. Okay, let's go back to Dr. Strange. Let's go back to Dr. Strange. In the first part, you remember when Dr. Strange is getting trained with Master Mordo and the Ancient One arrives. Then she actually takes him through the portal on Mount Everest. Why is that? So that she can test him. We all see Dr. Strange struggling with the portal because his hands are shaking, there are only sparks, the portal doesn't open, he's struggling, he's irritated. But then the Ancient One takes him to Mount Everest in the freezing cold. But at that moment, she decides to go back, leaving him there. And when that happens, this is how Dr. Strange reacts the moment the Ancient One goes. No, 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 don't go, stop! His hands are freezing. He's desperate to get back because otherwise he will die out of cold, frostbite. That is when he decides to stop reacting. That is when he takes a pause and takes control of his body. And that is how he stabilizes his hand. And then, with the pause, he restarts with the right intention, aligning his spirit, mind, and body. And then he opens the portal and he steps into Kamataj. And that's how Dr. Strange becomes Dr. Stephen Strange using SPR. I love that series. I seriously love him. Yeah. But here's something. How about we do experience it together? The same feeling of warmth. Shall we? All right. Everybody, just sit normally, relax, relax your shoulders, feel the energy in the room, take a deep breath, notice your breath. You can keep your eyes open. Now, look at that person, one person next to you with warmth. How does it feel? Does it make a difference? This is not a technique, by the way. This is a regulation. Not just in smiling more, but being fully here. That's how great speakers work. That's how they build charisma. Because people may not remember the perfect speeches with great vocab. They remember the speeches which made them feel special, safe, and steady. Your clients may not necessarily book the most energetic speaker in the room, but they will definitely book someone who made them feel safe and to trust. That's presence. That's power. And that, my dear friends, is charisma. Every time I go on the stage, when I was just starting with my speaking career, I used to always think, how do I perform better? What do I do something special that draws the attention? How do I become more energetic? Do I jump? Do I dance? But here's something I want you to know, or I want you to ask. Next time you go on the stage, don't ask yourself all these questions. Is my content great? Is it amazing? How do I become more energetic? What do I do to perform? Instead, ask yourself one important question. If the room shifts, or if there is any change in the room, what would happen inside me? Will I react? Or will I respond? Will I be regulated? Or will I panic? Because every time you panic, your body, your mind, everything reacts. And you lose the connection with the audience. But the moment you start regulating, the moment you actually regulate yourself, you don't just change the way you speak. You actually change the way audiences experience you. And that's synergy. So here's something I want you to ask yourself, or I rather would encourage you to ask yourself every time you step on the stage. Not the content, not the energy, not the performance, but when pressure shows up on stage, will I perform or will I arrive? Right? When pressure shows on stage, will I perform or will I arrive? Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. If you feel aligned, if you wish to feel aligned, please scan the QR code, and I have an amazing gift ebook for all of you. Thank you.
Beautiful, beautiful, Saurabh. Well, Saurabh, I haven't understood portals as I've understood them today, so thank you for that.
Thank you so
And
much.
now I want to shake hands with you. because you're somebody whose technique Dr. Strange is following. Great, great. Thank you, Saurabh.